Hello, everyone. This is Faye, of course. And as a sales strategist, I wanted to just bring to your attention seven of the most prominent SEPs that you can use to finish strong this year. And this is for most years, but this year particularly, there are seven. So as we near December 7th, which is the end of the annual enrollment period, don't let that slow you down at all. You still have the rest of December and you can certainly finish strong. The first one that I'd like to talk to you about is CSNP. CSNP is for those chronic plans, those plans that have designated as chronic and have specific diagnoses that will qualify and make a Medicare beneficiary eligible for the chronic plan. You are well aware that those plans can be written anytime during the year. So they certainly can be written from December 8th to December 31st for a January 1 effective date. That's one, and that's a big one. Are you also aware that five-star plans, you can't write five-star plans December 1st to December 7th? However, starting again on December 8th, you are able to use a five-star plan as an SEP to write someone a plan for January 1. Remember, five-star plan. Another one that is common but sometimes overlooked is loss of Medicaid eligibility. Someone receives at the end of the year because of increases in income or they've sold property and now they have assets, so they're losing Medicaid eligibility. Those may be harder to find in your search for people who may fit this criteria, but it's still available. Someone who loses Medicaid eligibility you can write their plan using an SEP and finish strong for this year. The one that comes to mind that we often use is left and a group employer plan. So there are people who start to think early on in the year that at the end of this year, I am going to retire. At the end of this year, I am leaving this job. So if they are ready to leave the job and ready to leave the employer plan December 31st, and they have A and B in place for January 1, you can use the SCP for them for the rest of this year and going on into next year. They can use that SCP during the 63 days that they are separated from the group employer plan. Another one might be non-renewing. We use different terms for non-renewing plans. It means a non-renewing Medicare Advantage, MA only, Medicare Advantage with prescription drug, or prescription drug standalone plan, any of those where the beneficiary has received a letter or a notice from their company that their plan will no longer be available for January 1 next year, then that creates an SCP. And yes, they do have until February 28th, but if they do not have another plan, a comprehensive approach to using Medicare available on January 1, then come January 1, the only thing that they will have is original Medicare Part A and original Medicare Part B. So you don't want them to be left hanging out there without their prescription drug plan. And yes, They have until February 28th, and you can use that as definitely in this environment for this year with many plans exiting, you can use the SEP for non-renewing plans. Now, there may be situations where people have plans that have been rated with low star ratings. This is one that we very rarely see because when a plan has star rating of 2 or less than 2.5, CMS usually steps in and takes care of that. But if there is a plan that has a star rating of 2 or 2.5, you can use that as an SEP to bring the person out of that plan and into another plan. One more that I want to mention is loss of low income subsidy. Now that Social Security has finalized what the adjustments might be, some people may find that they're losing their low income subsidy or their extra help with prescription drugs. If they lose that, they have an SEP. So these are the 7 ones that you can really think about that will show up most often. There are, of course, those common ones like MOVE, SEP MOVE, others that come about. But if you really want to finish this year strong with Medicare enrollments, look for the opportunities to use any one of these special election periods and make it a great holiday season and finish strong.